Hello, my name is jfavignano, and I am in Barcelona, Spain, or Barcelona as they say, and I'm here at the Virtual Fly headquarters checking out their full motion sims. All right, runway 26 at Innsbruck. We're gonna go flying in full motion here. At our power, airplane's coming to life. I love how stiff those rudder pedals are. Those bumps are pretty awesome. There's our V speed right there. On up we go. Okay, that's pretty cool. He's coming up. That is pretty impressive. The feeling of me going back in my chair as we started our rotation up, that was pretty impressive. We're just gonna do a little circuit here. We're gonna climb up to about 2,500 feet and spin around. What I love about the Yoko is that I can fly it kind of similarly how I do with a real airplane. You just lightly touch it and you can spin. It doesn't have that real massive want to jump to a middle of a detent or anything like that. And that's one thing I really do like about the Yoko yoke. I'll pull this guy back a little bit here. There's our airport over there. This is the first time I'm using the rudder pedals, and they are just stiff. They're very stiff, and I love that. They don't have a sliding mechanism. It doesn't feel like this huge detent. It's a very natural feel to them. I can see why a lot of guys like those. Just flying along in the mountains in Innsbruck. Watching our airspeed, bringing that nose forward. I do like the feel. Let's get a feel of the back pitch, which is pretty good, and then the negative. Whoa, you actually feel that. You feel when you're on top of the, which would be the negative G there. Whoa, it kind of disorients you a little bit too. Throwing it around like that. You're doing all right. One of the things that I'm getting used to is the disconnection of simulator to actual real life stuff here. Hit enter to continue. Yeah, I forgot we could do that. Actually having the real G1000 package in front of you is actually pretty amazing. I'm feeling the wind there a little bit. I'm gonna start pulling power a little bit here. We're gonna set up for a landing. You know, I do a lot of virtual reality flying, and I don't get the motion sickness from it like a lot of people do. But this definitely is throwing me around for a loop. It is definitely making me feel like I'm kind of flying an entity here. It's really cool. Let's get this baby slowed down here. Do a forward slip in it, see what that's like. Oh yeah, you feel it. Yeah, the rudder pedals are just stiff. They feel a lot like the real Cessna, or a real airplane for the most part. Yeah, I know you're not happy about my airspeed, neither am I. All right, we'll bleed some more speed off here. There we go. Let's get into the flap territory we want. Do some S turns to lose some altitude here. We might have to do a 360, but that's all right. See what the airplane wants to do with the drop. Bring that trim up like that. down. Turn these guys up. Coming up on the glide slope here. Slow her down a little bit more. Get that 95 knots. Looking good. Power here, and we're on the glide slope. Looking good. Bring my trim back a little bit more. Get back up. All right, there. Too shabby. Throw our crab out here to the right, pull the power, let her settle. Bring her down. Wow, those brakes feel great. The rudder kind of reminds me of like a Cessna 172's rudder pedals. Like they're so firm in the middle, and then the top brakes, it feels like you can really stand on them. I absolutely love these. Wow. All right, well that concludes our flight here in Innsbruck with motion, and I'm just starting to get grips with it. I was floating it in there for a little while. I'm not used to it. But the feeling of motion is absolutely amazing. I really, really, really am impressed with how smooth it feels and how natural it was. That's something that's always missing in a simulator is the motion. You can't get that feeling unless you fly the real airplanes. And even this small amount of motion that you do get out of it, which isn't small, is really, really impressive. All right, we are in the Cessna 182, and we are in Papua New Guinea, and we're going to be flying out of this bush airstrip here. It should be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and get started here. We have motion turned on. Everything is happy here. And we'll go master battery on, and the G1000 starts to light up now. You're hearing that warning message. We'll turn that off. And we'll do fuel pump on. Push it in. The fuel flow, which is, I don't even know if it's modeled or not. Turn that fuel pump off, crack the throttle a little bit, nothing too crazy. And then we can go beacon light should be on, and yep, good to go. So let's go ahead and start it. And we have an engine start there, fantastic. Pull that back. Gonna be wing flaps 10 today for departure. Avionics can come on now. There they go. Strobe lights and a landing light can come on. Fuel pumps off. Pitot heat, not worried about it. Standby battery is in the arm position. And we're ready to go flying. Takeoff trim is set. Fuel selector is on both. Static air is pushed in there. And, yep. I think we're pretty much good to go. I'm going to go ahead and line up on the runway here. Yep. Parking brake is released. There we go. So we're in the OOVO-04 today. This thing is the little pod capsule that I was showing before. We're using the virtual flight Yoko the Yoke. You know it and love it. This is the actual mechanism itself, and I'll have to show that on the vlog what it looks like inside there, so you can get a better understanding of what the Yoko is like. This is a throttle quadrant that is, it's like a throttle, a TPM kind of. So throttle, you got your pitch for your prop, and then your mixture. So TPM. That is not out yet, I don't believe, but it feels very nice. Feels just like the real airplane. And then, like I said, you know, we got the ruddos down here. Love the feel of these things. They feel, I know I've said this before, but they just feel like a real Cessna as far as the pedals go. So very, very happy with that. All right, let's go flying. We've been talking too long. Trim is set. We're going to be doing a short field takeoff, so we're going to dump this baby into our lap, and we'll add that power as it comes to life here. And what we want to do is we're going to fly the airplane into ground effects, so keep that nose all the way back like that. And basically right around 40 knots this airplane should take to the skies, which we're almost to it, about right there. There's 40 knots. And then we're going to come right off the ground there, like that, fly it into that ground effect, and then let it fly off the runway the best we can while clearing a 50-foot obstacle, which I don't think we did so well with that. Probably needed, I think we touched down actually, and we're stalling. Yeah, we're stalling. That's a buffet. No, I think we're okay. We needed a little bit more runway than that, I think, for that guy, for the most part. Let's get that nose down so we can get some airspeed built up here. We're going to go fly through this mountain. So basically, you take off that way, and you land from the other way. So that's interesting, to say the very least. Let's go ahead and zoom this guy in. All right, let's try to start getting some airspeed out of this airplane. So we're going to bring the flaps up. Use the electric trim here. And, yep, we are flying in the mountains in the OOVO-04 full motion. This thing has got a lot of feel to it. I know you probably can't really tell what that feels like, but it definitely gives you a feeling of turning in an airplane. The same thing can be said for this. Like, this is quite a bit of bumping. Another fun one to do is, I mean, not when you're climbing out in the mountains, of course, is to do this. Test the rudder pedals. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! And you just really, really, really feel that right there. The OOVO-04 has got a pretty strong arm on it as far as the feel. So here we're just flying the 182. And what are we doing here? We should probably lean back. Come on back, come on back, come on back. There we go. Need to pitch that. Some more airspeed out of this guy. There we go. That's pretty good there. Still have a good throttle there. We're still in a climb, so I don't want to lean too much, but that's probably okay right there. I mean, we're at 2,300 RPM on this climb. Let's try to get some more airspeed here and go fly down this valley. That should be a lot of fun. That should be a lot of fun. But yeah, really enjoying my time here in Barcelona, Spain. It has been absolutely awesome to fly these full motion sims and to check out, you know, what Virtual Fly is all about. There's another one I'll be checking out after, and it's a panel. It's just a panel with the screen, but it's a FAA certified one. So I'll have to show you what that one is all about. But this one here, we're just climbing out, and it really, what I like about it is that it gives you the sensation of dealing with a G1000 with movement, you know, actual movement. Because when you're in the real airplane, you know, you're getting bounced around a lot, and you're going to feel it when that happens. So that is one thing that's really cool, and you can keep your hands on everything you need here. These even have friction locks, just like the real deal. Very cool stuff. Alright, I don't think there's anything out this way. If we zoom out, we just took off out of Alpha Yankee Tango India, and we are in the middle of nowhere. There's some other airports here. There's a port down there. Might take a little bit to get there, though. That is for sure. But we might. It's kind of hard to say. They're all pretty far spaced apart. I think we're just gonna go fly up here, and we'll check it out. We'll do some stalls and stuff. We just need to get our altitude. That's the biggest thing, and then we'll turn around and we'll come back to the airport, and that'll be it. There we go, just like that. got to do some really cool stuff so far. I got to do the dual cockpit, which is the I forget the name of it, the Mono Solo or Duo, ONTOP Duo, and that one is the dual seater. And I was able to do some IFR stuff with Squirrel yesterday. That was really, really cool. We were shooting ILS down to minimums in a Baron, which is really nice. Now, as you know, I'm a huge advocate and user of the X-Plane engine. And they said they talked to X-Plane and they've been interested in it. I think that, you know, based out of the box, like for a company like this that's making full motion sims and stuff, I think the visual platform of X-Plane 11 out of the box is superb and would be absolutely awesome. As well as, you know, if you wanted to make a Cessna 172 or 182, probably 172 sim, this one, and we're flying in particular, can only do the 182 and 172. The flight model of that from like a Airfoil Labs Cessna 172 is awesome. Now I do know that you know, with the prepared platform, they had talked about possibly doing something with A2A's 172, which would be awesome. But right, I mean, having the default airplanes, you know how they fly. They're not the best things, you know, that's out there and offered. Wow, climbing out of the mountains here is actually quite challenging. Well, not comfortable flying. Not really comfortable in doing any. Yeah, see, there's a stutter. That's a classic, like, prepared FSX stutter there. And I can go ahead and say that, you know, after going to Flight Sim Con and checking out Prepared version 4, I might actually pick up Prepared version 4. There's some other airplanes that, you know, I miss flying. And I think that that would probably be for the best. Keep in mind, I don't have the best microphone here. This is just a headset plugged into an AverMedia capture device. So it is what it is. I mean, it's not going to be my normal one, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, let's zoom in here. We won't go back down this valley again. But the feeling of the feeling of flight is definitely there, especially when you crank up the options and Prepared to give you some turbulence and stuff. You'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it in the airplane. And to me, it feels like real turbulence whenever you're going through that. So that's one thing that I do like. Another thing with the Duo that we were flying yesterday, and also there's a Mono as well, and that's the one that has a 737 on it. That one in particular has the panel lighting that is a lot better than this. This is like daylight bulbs hitting you in the back, and I wish it was a little bit darker in here. I think it was darker in here, and it was like at night. You get some really cool immersion, that's for sure. Alright, so there's the airport. We can see it right off our nose down there in the valley. So let's fly down this way. In fact, let's see here. A little bit more there. Try to find out why this thing, let's lean it out a little bit more. Try to find out why this thing does not want to lose those RPMs or gain them, because you normally would be at 2400 RPM. There we go, just like that. Now we got 2400 RPM. Now we're cruising, you know. I mean, look at that, we're doing pretty good. I can bring the manifold pressure back and just barely roll out of that. There we go. And that's our airport in front of us. That's where we're going to be landing. So, I mean, look at this. We're doing 135 and a 182. Let's go and pull our power back a little bit here. Actually, we can keep our power in there a little bit more. There's a little bit of a bump of turbulence there. I'll pull this back. There we go. That's a lot better, a lot more manageable. Pull our power back a little bit more. And now we're going to start getting ready for the landing here at Papua New Guinea. Doing some bush flying. I figured, you know, we've flown like Barcelona and whatnot. I thought it'd be cool to just do some bush flying, and they had this as a package, so I was like, alright, that sounds good to me. I will gladly do that. And we're just flying here in the valley. But yeah, having a hands-on experience of all the different dials, switches, the full G1000 setup is great, and I can totally understand how this would work great for flight training with the G1000 package like this, because a lot of it is learning the procedures, you know, going to the procedure page and going to a select approach and so on and so forth. You know, doing all of those kind of things is really, really, really cool, and to have it feel like you're actually getting bumped around by turbulence and all this, and the motion of the sim, it helps. It really does. So prop's going to go full forward, mixture's going to go full rich, and we're going to start slowing this puppy down. Start pitching her back here. Let's get into the white arc. There we are, flaps 10. Bring the nose forward. And me, I'm falling forward whenever I bring the nose down like that. You feel it.
Sync rate.
Yep, we're going to get some sync rate warnings on this landing. I can tell you that. And terrain's probably going to be bitching at us as well, so that'll be fun. Alright. Flaps 20. There's our runway, believe it or not. And just like a normal Cessna, you know, landing, we're going to want to get our airspeed bled off a little bit more there. Let's go wings. Yeah, flaps 30. And there we go. And we're going to try to get for that 70 knots here. Looking all right. One more power there. Watching visually my my altitude so we don't die. Right, 500 right over the bushes. And we're going to come right over here and we're do a soft field landing. So bring that back. Nice and easy. Here it comes. Boom, we're down. Then we're going to hold this into our lap for aero braking like that. And we're down. Not bad at all. And you really, really slow down going up this hill. This hill is a bit of a bitch. I'll say that. There we go. And that is a landing in Papua New Guinea. We'll take off and turn around in Papua New Guinea in the OOVO-04. Very cool. Just a very challenging airport, that is for sure. There we go. And we can come to a stop here. And if we were to shut it down, we would do park and brake. Is set. We've got wing flaps can come up. Landing lights can come off. Strobe lights can come off. We can go mixture idle cutoff. And I love the motion of the sim whenever it dies like that. That is so cool. Avionics off. That's the off position. Off. Master battery switch off. And that is what it's all about.